Hello, my darling critters! Episode 4 through 6 of Season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina is out, and I wanted to give a quick review. Who am I? I am the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. But first, I have been talking about OGL Gate, where the owners of Dungeons & Dragons Wizards of the Coast, a subsidiary of Hasbro, decided to change the open gaming license, OGL, under which D&D has been operating for over 20 years, which could potentially adversely impact third-party creators like Critical Role. The backlash was huge, from massive numbers unsubscribing from D&D Beyond to talks of boycott of the upcoming D&D movie. In a nutshell, this was a public relations nightmare. One of the speculations was that Critical Role, the tabletop campaigns, would abandon D&D once their contracts ran out. Well, guess what? Wizards of the Coast has completely capitulated. In other words, they are in full retreat from their attempts to change the open gaming license. They stated they listened to fans, and now they're not going to change the OGL. They're also putting the SRD, the system reference, under a Creative Commons license, so creators can choose either the OGL or the Creative Commons. I was frankly shocked when I heard about this, but on further thought, nothing will get a company's attention more than a gut punch to their pocketbook. But whether their decision was because it was the right thing to do or because they wanted to protect their bottom line, the result is the same. The D&D community won. But we're here to talk about the Chroma Conclave story in The Legend of Vox Machina. In the comments last week, you let me know that the Chroma Conclave campaign will span 2 seasons, which is fantastic. I'm still hoping we'll get the final leg of the Vecna or Whispered One campaign. Oh, and several people have informed me that there is definitely a green light for the Mighty Nine campaign. I'll be honest, I was upset when the Vox Machina party retired, so I didn't watch that many Mighty Nine episodes, but I predict Laura Bailey's Jester will be a fan favorite. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're there, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. In episode 4, Those Who Walk Away, as predicted and as expected, we got more development of the Vax and the Matron of the Ravens. The Matron is, of course, the goddess of death, and Vax offers his life to save his sister, Vex. The Matron tests Vax and then makes him her champion. So, Vex is alive, and Vax is now on a dark path. Oh, and we also get a scene about how the vestige that Vax wears, his armor, can level up, become exalted or something, which is from the tabletop campaign, and I thought was a pretty cool addition to be included. Unexpectedly, we got a backstory of how Vax and Trinket became companions, which was kind of cute. Now, I'm not crazy about the rest of the storyline involving Zara releasing some sort of monster from a locket to steal the armor that Vax is wearing, the vestige. I don't think that was in the original tabletop campaign and seemed a little bit over the top. I thought some of the dialogue was off-putting, like Cash saying he was getting something to eat. And then the sudden reversal of Zara just giving up and saying, the vestige is yours. She gave up on stealing the vestige, and that seemed rather abrupt and odd. It just felt a little off kilter to me. Now, what I did like was the monster, which was a replacement for the Beholder, because Beholder is of course a D&D trademark or copyrighted monster. So this was something we haven't seen before. The battle was cool and it let Vex show off his new powers. Afterwards, Zara gives Vex the locket. Now, I had forgotten about the locket, which was in the original campaign, but I don't think it was given by Zara, but it's how Vex protects Trinket and carries him around. This wasn't my favorite episode, so let's move on. Episode 5, Pass Through Fire, was a Keyleth episode. We got some backstory on Keyleth and her Ereshari upbringing, and how she is supposed to be undergoing the Aramonte trials. We get the origins of Thordak, the Cinder King, having been trapped in the elemental plane of fire by Kima and Laura and their old adventuring party, but he has now escaped and the rift to the elemental plane is open. I thought it was a little bit of a coinky-dink seeing Kima and Laura suddenly showing up and giving their backstory. Keyleth does seal the rift, but it felt a little bit anticlimactic to me. Another scene that seemed just a little bit off to me was the broom. Scanlan had found the broom, but Vex acted like it was hers. It would have made more sense if Vex had originally picked up the broom, but whatever, we got the flying broom. And Vex does say she owes Scanlan a favor. I absolutely loved the build-up between Grog and his sentient sword, Craven's Edge. By the way, the first sentient sword that I'm aware of in fantasy literature is Stormbringer, the sword wielded by Alric of Melniboné in Michael Moorcock's Sword and Sorcery series. I thought how Grog was keeping it secret and pretending to poop when he was actually talking to it was hilarious. We see Grog's people, the Goliaths, working with the Chroma Conclave, and we also see Ripley, who is up to something. Episode 6, Into the Rime Clift, is my favorite episode of Season 2 yet. The party travels to a temple which is inhabited by another Sphinx, Kamaljiuri, the mate of Assissa, the Sphinx who leads the Slayer's Take and started them on this whole quest. Vox Machina must pass a trial before Kamaljiuri will help them, and they choose what seems like the simplest task to cause Kamaljiuri pain, who has never known pain. Really? One after the other, the party fails until only Scanlan is left. Instead of attacking the Sphinx, Scanlan creates a love song about Kamaljiuri and Assissa, which causes the Sphinx to feel emotional pain. And so Scanlan wins the Vestige Mythcarver, a sword that also allows Scanlan to see where other vestiges are. I think it's actually a legend lore, but whatever. But he sees the magic bow in the Fey realm and magic gauntlets wielded by Goliath barbarians. But then the party is attacked by one of the Chroma Conclave, Umbrasyl, the black dragon that breathes acid. Umbrasyl kills Kamaljiuri, who, by the way, seems to be in a lot of pain during the fight, so really, he felt no pain before? Anyway, that's not important. What is important is that Umbrasyl also steals Scanlan's vestige, the magic sword. Speaking of swords, Grog's evil sentient sword finally overcomes him, and he stabs his best friend, Pike. The party travels to the Fey realm, but Scanlan, Pike, and Grog disappear. I still don't think the plot is as tight in Season 2 as it was in Season 1, but again, they are distilling hundreds of hours of gameplay into a series format. Since the storyline appears to be collecting powerful artifacts, I think it makes the story a little predictable. We kind of know that each episode or every other episode, they're going to be collecting a new artifact. But that's not to say I'm not entertained. I still laugh at the sudden turns to adolescent poop humor. The characters are what I imagined, and I am having a lot of fun watching The Legend of Vox Machina. It appears that Umbrasyl is going to be a major target, and I know that fans of the tabletop can't wait to see more of Ripley. What do you think of these episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina? Let me know in the comments. Until we meet again, may all the books you read, the campaigns you play, and their adaptations be